Phones are getting so boring. Absolutely no innovation. Total snooze fest out there, man. I think that's what you're going to be reading and hearing a lot in regards to Samsung's new S25 lineup. That includes the $800 S25, the $1,000 S25 Plus, and the $1,300 S25 Ultra, all with custom Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy processors. And the comments aren't wrong, there's not a whole lot new here, but long gone are the days of huge leaps in innovation. And instead, companies are hyper-focused on trying to convince all of us that AI is the future. And Samsung's no different. At the briefing I had today, where they unleashed dozens of us hungry content creators into a room full of expensive phones and subpar lighting, AI was all the company wanted to show us. In my first AI demo, the company showed off the expanded features of AI Select and Circle to Search that we saw on the Pixel 8 and S24 devices. This is a feature that allows you to gather more information about things in front of you without having to switch apps. And new this year is the ability for your device to recognize phone numbers, dates, websites, and provide contextual actions, such as scanning a ticket and then suggesting you create an event on your calendar with the information from that ticket. And also new this year is Gemini's ability to work across apps using natural language. So for this demo, the idea was simple. Can you book me a flight from New York to Barcelona and also send this information to my friend Tony? And at first it seemed like Gemini did all the right things. It searched Google Flights, it drafted a message to Tony.
Here's your message to Tony Kim. Ready to send it?
Until I opened my mouth. Hi Tony, I found around, and Gemini went back to 0. Oh no.
Unfortunately, yeah, so sometimes it does that.
So I tried again. Can you book me a flight from New York to Barcelona and send it to my friend Tony Kim? Second time's the charm. And having not understood exactly what went wrong the first time, I'm not going to touch anything this time.
Tony Kim. Ready to send it?
I opened my mouth again, but I am going to try to read it. No! So after a few folks telling me very nicely to please keep my mouth shut, or simply mute the mic when I was done, can you book me a flight from New York to Barcelona and send the info to my friend Tony Kim? I was able to get my dear sweet friend Tony Kim some flight info. Hi Tony, I found a few round-trip flights from New York to Barcelona. A lot of this was user error, and I understand that, but I also think it's pretty normal to read stuff aloud before you send it. And if you do that here, your search goes away and you're started anew. But lucky for Samsung and Google, their next AI integration is much more helpful.
So part of the AI push this year is to kind of put AI literally everywhere, even though they said that they've done that before. Now it really feels like it's quite literally everywhere, including in your settings. So if you go to settings and you go to search, there's now an AI search bar that you can use your voice to search your settings through using natural language. So my mom might ask, I don't want somebody calling me anymore. Boom, block numbers, first results. Love it. Or, my screen is way too bright. Bada bing, display brightness settings. Love this. This is useful. This is helpful. This will have my mom not calling me all the time. Although mom, you know, you're always welcome to call. Gotcha.
On the hardware side, there are only a few small changes this year. While the base model looked the same but weighed just a few grams lighter, the Ultra's corners have been slightly rounded. 15 grams of weight have been shed, and its bezels have decreased by 15%, which results in a 6.9-inch screen, up from 6.8 inches, while keeping the same footprint. And of course, we have some new colors, my favorite being this very sleek, deeper blue. I will also add that now that I go caseless on my devices, these phones have some serious table rock. It's absolutely not a deal breaker, but wow, have I been spoiled by the pixel symmetry. But more importantly than all of that, the camera system is finally seeing some meaningful changes, which matters the most to me.
Shooting in log. No LUT.
Woo! That's right. The S25 series is getting log shooting across the board. This is a big deal, especially for Samsung, who has already had the best native pro features in their camera app. Log shooting allows you greater dynamic range in the highlights and the shadows, and more control over your image. And Samsung says that a Galaxy LUT is on its way. Following in Google and then Apple's footsteps, Samsung is also adding an audio enhancing feature. After taking a video, you can select the sparkles, of course, to open the audio editor. And here's what the pre- and post-process results sound like.
All right, so I'm talking in a relatively loud environment. There's many folks speaking behind me, but I want you just to hear me and my beautiful
vocal cords. So I'm talking in a relatively loud environment. There's many folks speaking behind me, but I want you just to hear me and my beautiful vocal cords. And lastly, Samsung claims that nightography has been improved, which is their term for photos and videos taken at night, and I find so funny. I'll be putting that to the test in my video series where I take 1,000 photos and videos on a device and then let you know what I really think. So make sure you're subscribed for more of that. On the camera hardware side, there is a small change. The ultra-wide now has a 50 megapixel sensor across the lineup, up from just 12 megapixels in previous models. Otherwise, all the lenses remain the same as they were in the S24 lineup. Things that weren't mentioned at my briefing were a Slim device, which I have a feeling is coming, but isn't ready for prime time, so we'll probably hear about that at the event that I'm at right now when this video is going up. So stay tuned for more on that. So those are the S25 devices. Are they boring? You let me know down below. What I can tell you is that they're certainly not exciting, but they haven't been exciting in years, and yet we all come around and we want to use them and play with them. And that's what I love doing. And that's what I love about this nerdy tech community. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you want to see in my 1,000 photos video, which I should have for you pretty soon. Yeah, I appreciate you, bud. I'll see you in the next one.